I'm going to do an unboxing and demonstration review on this Bestarc plasma cutter. It's a small one, a lightweight one. It can run on dual voltage, and it'll run on 220 or 110. And it's a plasma cutter, so it'll cut through a number of different kinds of metal that would be very difficult to cut through with a cutting torch. Cutting torch is good on regular carbon steel, but I have used it on aluminum and stuff, but you just kind of puddle through it and it's very difficult. Plasma cutter works great on stuff like that. I'm going to open this box and get the paperwork out of it and take that over to the house and go through it before I get into using this machine. I got my brand new Harbor Freight welding table that I just put together. Get all that package material out of the way here. So let me put the camera on a tripod. We'll open the box up and see how it's packaged. As you can see, they got a shrink wrap plastic all the way around this thing, which is good. This is probably a package of hardware. Let's see if we can get this out. Yes. Okay, we got hoses, clamps, wires, the adapter for 220 and 110. That's all you need, is that simple adapter plugs in. So it's obviously got a 220 plug on it, but the machine has. And then when you plug it into 110, it senses, the machine automatically senses the difference. It'll reduce the power, but it'll still work. Just won't cut as fast and as thick a metal. And here are our consumables. They're a little bit small next to what I have on some other machines I got, but that's good. It was a smaller machine. We're not going to be using it for heavy work. It'd be great for auto body. Be perfect for auto body work, for cutting body panels. And there's a little wrench in here for tightening up your consumables. There's our torch. And the book that I'm going to take over to the house and go through that. Plastic foam, that's not styrofoam, that's plastic foam. That's what I call it. I don't know what the proper name is, but it's a lot better protection than styrofoam. Here's this lightweight machine, so we got the foam protection all the way around the machine. So this thing could take a tumble and be very well protected. And unfortunately, that stuff happens a lot these days in shipping. I'm going to leave that plastic on there for the moment. Well, okay, got the protective plastic on the whatever you call this here. Let's call it a dashboard for now. And so you got your, let's see, is this a fuse or is this a power? Oh, that's where one of the cables is going. That's your, I imagine one of these, I would imagine this red one right here goes on that. So this one will plug into here. That'll be for your trigger. And This one will be for your air that goes in the back. I guess it goes in the back. Yeah, that's where the air is gonna, well, let's see here. I'll find it. I'll go through the book and find out where this stuff goes. Here's where it goes. That's where the air goes here. The shop air goes in the back, and your on and off switch is back there. And your shop air goes on here. It looks like it has a standard Milton fitting on there. So this torch air goes right here. Yeah, that'd be the ground. It's got that fitting there. Can't think of what they call that style right now. So that plugs in there, a keyhole thing, and then you turn it. So that's your ground. So let me get into the book and get back on this later. I have everything pretty well set up to start this machine up and get it going and see if we can cut a piece of scrap metal here. I've got it plugged into 220. This is an adapter that I made for multi-purposes. Got the 220 here and a couple of 110 outlets here, and it's just plugged into the wall into 220 with an extension cord. Got the shop air plugged into the back, and have my torch plugged into it. The air hose for the torch is screwed in over here. The hot here for the trigger switch is right here, and then here's the other, or whatever that red wire goes to. I'm not 100% sure on that, but this one is plugged in here. It's got a thumb screwed on tight, but it's plugged in. It'll work. And then the ground right here. We got a little rust on this, so I took a vice grip and bit that with a vice grip and twisted it back and forth a couple times, put the clamp on that. It may not be as important on plasma cutting, but on welding it is important on welding to make sure you have a good ground. So over here, the air pressure, before I get to that, there's a table up here that tells me what to do. And you've got some settings in the book as well, but this is a quick setting here. And so I'm on the 220 volt. It got a 380 volt too, but that's not for around here. I don't know where that would be. Another country somewhere, I think. So we got the we have about, I'm going to call it 3/16 this piece of metal. You can measure it if you don't know how to judge by looking at it. 3/16 is going to be in between the 5/32 right here and the 1/4 inch. It's going to be 5/32 and 1/4 inch. So we'll just split the difference on that. So our amperage for that size is going to be, up here's the amperage in the black line. So what do we got here? I can't see it on the camera. 25 to 35. So we'll set it at 30. Set the amperage at 30, and then the air pressure 30 to 40 on that, and then 35 to 50 on the 1/4. Well, we'll split the difference. We'll just put it at 40. All right. Set the amperage. I already set that at 30, didn't I? Okay, the air pressure, we want that at 40. Here's where you pull this knob out. You push it in to lock it in place. Pull it out to adjust it. That's air pressure up here. You want it to be in the green zone. So we're going to back this off to 40. Getting a little low. Okay, we'll put it there for this. 2T we want. 2T and 4T. Okay, 2T means you pull the trigger, it cuts. you let go of the trigger, it stops. 4T means you pull the trigger, it cuts, you let go of the trigger, it continues to cut. You got to pull the trigger a second time to shut it off. Now that might be handy for a CNC table that's computerized, computer controlled cutting. You might use it on a table like that. Or if you just prefer to hit the trigger twice, if you're in an awkward position and you might, fingers might slip off of that trigger or whatever. Anyway, that's an option. 2T, it cuts when you're pulling the trigger and it stops when you let it go. So, what does this one do? Oh, that's the air. Okay, let's see if the air comes out by itself if I pull the trigger. Oh, it's got a guard on it to get under the guard. Yep, okay, it works. And I got a post over here. This PT means this post time. PT stands for post time, and I got it set at why did my air go down to 22? Have to adjust that. The post time is how long the air keeps running out to cool the tip after you shut it off. You got a choice between 3 seconds and 15 seconds. And then when you put that on the PT, you can adjust your time. Here it shows up over here. I don't need 15 seconds because I'm going to be cutting a thin piece of metal. If I'm cutting a thicker metal, I'd want more time because it's going to be getting hotter while you're cutting thicker metal. And then the PA, that's pilot arc, that's how much time you want for starting your arc, because with this you don't have to actually make contact with your work. With this you can start it, your arc off the material, and that's a lot better. That's what the newer one. The older ones you had to touch it first and then come back, and that was caused wear and tear on your consumables. So this is a little guide. You can put that on there, and it'll control your depth, your height from getting too close or too far away. I mean, you can adjust a bar, put some kind of a piece of metal across here to ride this against. Take your measurements so that you know how far away from your line you need to be for this to be right in the center of that and cut right on your line. I'm going to go on and take a couple of practice runs and make sure that I got this thing set up right and that it's working right. I did one cut and it worked good. Let me do another one. Now I don't have welding glasses on, so I'm hiding behind this and squinting. I shouldn't do that. Don't do that. Do as I say, not as I do. Wear some welding glasses for this. Now I think I lost my cut right up here. I might have been moving too fast. No, I didn't lose it. Kind of boogered it up, but I didn't lose it. Okay, let me try for a thicker piece of metal. I'm going to try on a piece of 5/8 plate. This machine's not supposed to go that high, but I got it turned up pretty much all the way. I'm just going to try to cut a little corner off of this 5/8 plate. Let's see what it does. I have to go real slow though. that did it. It was overworking it, but it got through it. Now you see that the cut is at a curve. See those lines in that cut? They're at a curve. That means you're either underpowered or you're going too fast. Well, I was going very slow, and anyway, there can be just a very slight curve in it, but it's supposed to be a fairly straight line. Those lines in that cut are supposed to be fairly straight, but that's to be expected since we were kind of overdoing it. Now I got to find a piece of real thin sheet metal and see how quick we can just zip through that like you would on auto body, which is what a small little tiny machine like this would be good for. For those cuts, my goal was 30 pounds of air and 25 amps. Looks like it settled in at 32 pounds of air, which same thing, doesn't matter. But it, as you saw, it was almost fun to cut through that and just knock those little pieces off of there. So it's real handy for you, as long as you got something behind it that you don't have to worry about catching on fire. So you can always stuff some wet rags or something behind it as long as you're not touching your fender. But of course your fender on the workbench doesn't matter, but on the car, a lot of body shops will just use some kind of a scissor, an air-powered scissor, or a cut-off wheel. So sometimes just whatever tool you want to use, anything to cut the thin sheet metal. But this is I'm pretty impressed for what the price of this thing goes, and I forgot what it is. It's on Amazon. It's really not that high. And I'll put the link up on the description for buying this thing on Amazon. And this company has a bunch of different sizes of these. One more thing I should show. You're supposed to use clean, dry air. And I'm going to show what is mounted on another machine I got here, a bigger one. Is this... This is an air pressure regulator and air dryer that that is mounted on this machine, and so of course this is a much bigger and heavier duty machine, and it'll cut like up to a couple inches thick of steel. But for this, that it's good to have an air dryer regulator hooked up to your air instead of just plain shop air like I got here. So let this thing cool down for a while before you shut it off. Let the fan, leave it on, let the fan run after you've used it for a few minutes. I don't know if it's going to shut off by itself or not, we'll see.